If I asked you right now, are you satisfied in your marriage? How happy in your marriage are you today? You would probably have an answer. But if I asked your spouse that same question, would their number match yours? Or would you be surprised? Here's what I've learned after almost 14 years working with married couples. Most couples, they have never actually defined what relationship satisfaction means to them. They assume that they're on the same page. They assume, oh, we're not fighting that much, so it must mean that we're doing okay, right? They assume that if no one is sleeping on the couch or threatening divorce every other night of the week, that the relationship must be fine. But let me tell you something. Stability and satisfaction, they are not the same thing. You can have a marriage that looks calm on the outside and still feel so lonely or discombobulated on the inside. And if you don't define satisfaction together, you will slowly start measuring your marriage by two completely different standards without even realizing it. So today, I want to walk you through what relationship satisfaction actually is, why so many couples like you oftentimes unintentionally miss a critical piece of this, and how you can start one simple conversation that could completely shift the tone of your marriage for the better. And at the end, I'm going to give you something practical that you can download and use with your spouse tonight. Stability is not satisfaction. A lot of couples define satisfaction like this. We're not fighting much, we're paying the bills, right? We're taking care of all the things. The kids are fed, they're okay. And listen, not that those things don't matter, but the absence of chaos is not what equals fulfillment. I see couples all the time who are functioning beautifully as a team. You look at them from the outside in, they look amazing. They might be organized, they're responsible, they're efficient. You might be that couple, but they're lonely as all get out. They're emotionally miles apart. Relationship satisfaction is not just peace or lack of fighting or absence of anger. It's connection. It's emotional safety. It's feeling like you matter to the other person for real. Here's where it gets interesting. One spouse often defines satisfaction as low conflict, share responsibilities, financial security even, loyalty, whatever that means to you. The other might define it more as how emotionally intimate are we with one another? How desired by you do I feel? How many meaningful conversations are we having on the regular? How do we measure shared growth? And how do we even talk about what that is? Neither one of them is wrong. And I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. Neither one of those definitions is wrong. But if you've never named your definitions out loud, you've never said them to each other, that is where resentment is going to quietly start growing in the gap. This is how couples end up saying, I'm doing everything quote unquote right. Why isn't it enough? Because you're solving for a different equation. You're solving for different problems. Now, satisfaction changes over time. Here's what I mean. What satisfied you in year 2 of marriage might not be what satisfies you in year 12 or year 22. Early on, satisfaction might have meant we're having fun, we have so much chemistry, we love the adventure, we love traveling, we love what we do together, hanging out with friends, staying up late, doing all the things. Later in life, it might mean emotional reliability, right? I'm able to trust my spouse that they will come home when they said they would, and they will help take care of the things that they said they would help take care of. Good conflict repair ability, or feeling like your spouse is actually with you and not just physically sitting next to you. Healthy couples revisit their definition of satisfaction. Unhealthy couples assume that it should stay the same. This is what I've always asked for, you should just know. This is what we talked about 20 years ago. Why are we changing the game? They are the ones to say, when this is shifting, I'm starting to panic a little. And don't get me wrong, if there's something that 20 years later still applies and you still both love and you're both on board with it, keep it in, by all means. But shifting needs in and of itself doesn't mean that your marriage is failing. It just means that you need a new conversation or a different kind of conversation, and you need to have that kind of conversation to begin with. What does relationship satisfaction actually include? Here's the thing. Satisfied couples, guess what? They still argue. They still hit stressful seasons. They have them just like all the rest of us. They are not immune. But underneath all of that, there's a secure base. There's a foundation where you know and you feel like you matter, your needs can and are being spoken. When there is conflict, it won't destroy the relationship because we have roots down so deep that no matter how big the storm, the tree is going to hold up. The tree is going to keep standing. And you also know that growth is possible for the both of you. It's not perfection. It's a combination of safety plus effort. Here's the question that I ask couples in my office. What would tell you that this relationship is deeply satisfying for you? Don't think about anybody else. No need to take anybody else's opinion into consideration on this one. Not compared to social media, not what your friends might say, not even compared to your parents' lives together, not their marriage, not their their parents' marriage. What would tell you that this marriage is deeply satisfying for you? And then I ask the other spouse the same question. And the answers are almost never identical, but that's not the problem. The silence, the avoidance of talking about it is, which is precisely why we need to be having this conversation in the first place, why we need to be having this exchange, why you two need to do this. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, thinking back to when we got together, I don't know that we've ever actually had this conversation to begin with, Daka. I created something for you. It's a simple relationship satisfaction check-in guide. It walks you through structured questions like, when do you feel most connected to me? What is it that makes you feel most valued? You can download it in the description below. Use it next time that you have a night off. Use it after the kids go to bed tonight. Use it, be intentional about it, because satisfaction doesn't grow through mind reading. I've said this a million times, and no, I do not exaggerate. Thank you. It grows through clarity and effort. So if your marriage feels quote unquote fine, but it's not really fulfilling, and you know it because you feel it in every bone in your body, that's not a problem. That's not failure. I just want you to see this as an invitation to, for the first time, or to do it again, but an invitation to define what satisfaction means to you two right now. An invitation to stop assuming, an invitation to co-create something stronger and better that will support and hold you up for years to come. And if you want support beyond that, that's what I do too. But start with the conversation. It might be the most important one you've had in years. Thank you for liking and sharing this video, and I'll see you in the next one.